Hi and welcome to my crochet podcast. I'm Marta. I'm a crochet designer living on the east coast of Scotland, where I'm in a new spot today. And you can see it's quite windy outside today and a bit chilly. I've got a scarf on for the first time. I'm not going to call it autumn. We're still in summer, but it's definitely much cooler today. And I live right by the sea, and it's breezy and dull. So I've grabbed this. This is one of my favourite scarves. It's Mist Kingfisher by Joanne Scrace at the Crochet Project, she's a real favourite designer of mine, so you do hear me talk about her a lot. I love this scarf. The yarn is from Ginger Twist in Edinburgh. I actually went to the shop and picked this yarn. It's quite an old scarf. I've probably had it 6-7 years, and it's slightly bally, but still very cozy, and I love it. It's one of my favourites. You can just throw it on. Just tend to just wrap it around my neck like that, and it's on. And dark orange and bluey grey. It's one of my favourite colour combos. Totally love it. You just saw a wee peek there of finished turtle. On my last podcast episode, I think this little dude was 1 boot short. And if you saw my live, which I did last week on Instagram, you'll know that the feet ended up different sizes. Look, it's the same number of stitches. And the boots are just really different. I did one on one day and one a couple of days later, and it was different times of day, and the tension is just so different. I mean, I could go and remake and hope that I get a third one that matches one of the two, but hey, I'll just go with it as a wee feature. Unless you're looking closely, you wouldn't notice, although that one is quite pointy. So if you've ever had that happen to you, maybe you're crocheting away in a project and suddenly your tension seems all wrong, or just wasn't what it was when you swatched. It could just be that you're in a different mood. Perhaps you're more stressed or less stressed, and it's just coming through in the way you're holding your hook and your yarn, and totally messes things up. So here he is. This is Darwin Turtle by Jan Schenkel, who you can find the patterns in a book called Animal Friends of Pika Pau and Animal Friends of Pika Pau 2. I think this one's in the second book. I have been working from both books, and so is my youngest. We've been on a bit of a crochet amigurumi mission. Youngest has made the bear and also the duck, and I have made this one and also the rhino. Just finished him this morning. This is Hector Rhinoceros, and this is definitely in the first book, and he is fab. He has an embroidered shirt, kind of like a Hawaiian shirt, which took a lot of work. Crochet wise, it didn't take me too long, but see all those embroidery, I think that's a Lazy Days stitch. They took me ages. They were embroidered on before stuffing, so I worked down, just pull those trousers down a little bit. I worked down to the bottom, or almost the bottom of the shirt, and then before it was stuffed I did the embroidery, and then continued on and stuffed him. It's worked. Like most of the designs, head down in one piece, so there's no join for the neck. That just continues on both of them. This one, both of them, they change colour. I love the construction. It's really clever the way they split for the legs, and I absolutely love these patterns. There is a third book coming out as well. My favourite so far, I've seen a few of them. My favourite pattern so far is the hedgehog. It looks super cute. But this one was just so much fun. I really liked it, and I haven't finished my amigurumi craze. I'm really enjoying it because they're small. I know today's cooler, but I think they're small. I can just take them around and work on them a bit here and there without too much thought, and they're not like bogging me down like a blanket. You'll see I have worked on my Scrappy Blanket. but I haven't really for the last month or so. It's just been too warm, but I have been enjoying doing the amigurumi. So I've got one more. Will they sit beside me? You sit beside me, little guys. I'll show you the next one I'm going to do. So this one here, I think it's an Anteater or a tamandua. Is it? Not quite sure I'm saying that right. Monty the Tamandua, and I think he is so fab. I love the way the colours change, and I think I mentioned in the last podcast that I've been given yarn by a lovely friend of mine, all sorts of balls of this and that, but generally just, you know, there's this amount of this, and that's probably about half a ball. This one's almost a whole ball, so there's not much, although they're all the same. They're all the same yarn in terms of fibre content, and they're probably the same brand, no labels on them. I don't even know exactly what this is. I don't think I've used it before. I don't know what it is. It's soft. I would say it's got some alpaca in it. It's slightly tweedy as well, if anyone recognises it. It's not, I know more what it's not than what it is. So it's not anything I've come across. It's not any of the Rowan felted tweed or the Debbie Bliss felted tweed. It's not either of those. I don't know what it is. It's quite fuzzy and hairy. You can see on the rhino. Can you? Yeah, if I catch it, the sort of fuzz along the halo here. So he's quite fuzzy. There's kind of loose fibres. So I don't know. Anyway, I've been looking for yarn to make the Anteater, because you hold the yarns double, and that's how you get the different shading. So I'm going to go for these three. I may need to alter the pattern and make long sleeves on the jumper, because I don't know what the yardage is for this, and yeah, don't know. I may need to just make a few tweaks, see what other yarn I have, pull that in as well, but I'm going to go for it, and that'll probably be the third one, and I'm going to leave it there. 3 is enough, and that'll be probably my craze finished for a while, and I'll be back to blanket, because I am determined to finish my Scrappy Blanket. I've worked on it a wee bit. Oh gosh though, I pulled it out. I hadn't worked on it in ages. Pulled it out, went to work on it, was just kind of going like this and finding my place, and a spider came out of it, went across my hand, down the gap of the sofa, down on the floor, and absolutely freaked out. It was like, you know, at this size, not like massive, but big enough to make me go, I don't like spiders. Yeah, I'm trying not to think about it. I've told you now, I'm not going to tell you again. So this wasn't the last podcast, but this was the last time I showed it to you. I was here at the stitch marker. So I've done 15, 20 centimetres. Done quite a lot, because the yarn that my friend gave me has come in very useful, and there was 2 days ago, I think, it was cool like today, and I got a load of rows done on it. I haven't really worked on it all summer, but now as the weather seems a little bit cooler, I'm going to pick up the pace. I am going to finish this, and I shall release the pattern in October, because I want to release that in October, and it will be, I'm going to make this one free on my blog, just the basic pattern, and if you're looking to do it in more sizes and more yarn thicknesses, I'm going to put that information in a paid for pattern. So it'll kind of be free on one level, and to go deeper dive and get even more info, that'll be on my website on Ravelry and Lovecrafts. And there'll be a stitch tutorial video for how to do this stitch, which is really easy. I love how you're just counting 5, 5, 5, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's really nice and soothing, and I've already done a video on how I change the yarn colours. Here's a good one to see. I just tie a knot and then work with all three, the new one and the two ends, and just end up with a bumpy bit like this, which in a scrappy blanket I'm totally happy with. And there's no way those ends are coming undone. So that's already up on YouTube if you want to have a look. You'll see it in, I think, in my how-to guides playlist. You'll find it there. Will I pop this behind me and hope that no spiders come out of it? Let's put it behind me and you can enjoy it. So yeah, I'm in my craft space, which is very nearly finished. I haven't done a full tour because before I knew it, it got messy. So I'm in it, and I just want to tidy. There's just a few things that are out of place. I want to get it all absolutely tidy, not that it'll stay like that, but I'd like to do that and then have just a wee video tour going round. I got the chair I'm sitting on, and I've got a two-seater sofa just over here, and I got them in the British Heart Foundation for £95. That's in Dundee, and it was £30 delivery. And then the lady said, and you can get as many items as you like for £30. So I was like, whoa, yeah, I'm going to look around because it's quite a big showroom actually they've got there in the Wellgate in Dundee if you're local. And I got a Formica table, like a 50s, 60s. I've got it right here beside me. I've got my printer and all the Wi-Fi bits and bobs on it. But I have been looking for one of those for a while, and it's a really pretty blue colour. So once I get it up this room nice and tidy, I shall do a wee video. I'll probably put it up as a short, and you can have the tour of my new craft space. It's in the middle of the house. No, it's down kind of down one end of the house, but I've got light behind me, and I've got just a wee hall over there and a window in the hall, and the back door actually has a window in it, so there's light coming that way as well. So I'm really liking the light. I tend to just sit in here with the door open. I don't tend to keep it shut. And yeah, so it's got the sofa and a chair, so that's good if other folks in the house want to come and chill with me. And here is the chest. I don't know if you saw any of my videos that I had when I just kept looking at the pile of mess in the corner I didn't know what to do with. So I actually took this chest from my middle son's bedroom. He was okay with it. I replaced it with a desk for him because he was really only using the surface. And I painted it a couple of layers, different colours, and then I distressed it back and put a clear coat of varnish on. And that is where all the things for the, there's a blow up bed in it, the bedding, pillows, everything, spare towels and all that for when folks come to stay. So that's all contained in there. That was mostly what the mess that I didn't know what to do with was. There are a few things that got charity shopped. There were things that didn't belong to me and kind of came with the room, and I didn't really know whose they were, where they were going. So I've dealt with all that. All that has gone. So the mess that's remaining is my mess. So that's okay. That's an okay problem to have. And yeah, I've just put some crochet blankets over. I bought this row. Just simply because this one's right by the window and the back of it's going over the back, and I didn't want a crocheted blanket to get faded in the light, so I've gone for this one, which I picked up in a sale for, I think it was £12, £13, something like that, in Dobbies of all places, so happy with that. And it does the job because underneath the sofa's fine, it's got a wooden frame and big cushions. Really comfy to sit on. I didn't think much of it. My husband was with me. I'd seen it and kind of dismissed it, and he said, what about that one? And just to amuse him and keep him satisfied, I sat on it thinking this is going to be horrible and I can just jump up and say, oh no, it's horrible. But it was really comfy, so I went with that. And came just a couple of days later, a couple of guys came and delivered it, which is fab. So I am chuffed to be using this space. It's great if I need to do Zoom calls and things, which I occasionally do, perhaps with my business coach and with Female Entrepreneur School. If any of you are small business owners and want to check her out, Jenny, I'll pop her link in. So there's Zoom calls and things that come with that, and it's handy to be able to just shut myself in here if I need to and not have anyone bother me. Speaking of new purchases, I got this mug. Isn't it lovely? It's hand painted. I got it in TK Maxx of all places. They've got quite a lot of nice mugs, and it's big. It must hold about half a pint. I mean, I have large hands, okay, really large hands. I've got size 9.5, 10 feet, and hands to match. So if my big hands are holding it like this, you can imagine the size. Need my cuppa today. And I got another mug. I'll just show you another thing that I bought online. I bought this from What Mustard Made. I saw it. She'd done a wee live. Tracy her name is. What Mustard Made. She'd done a live and she was showing off the mug, and it came with mini skeins in it. And I went for 4 ply, and you get 50 grams of little mini skeins. Little sort of 10 or 5 or whatever they are. I'm not sure what they all are. But I'll be using them for Scrappy Blankets. This one's got a lovely sparkle through it. We've got a more unicorny one. Ooh, neon yellows in that one. More of a semi-solid red. Another rainbowy one. Ooh, love that one. Orangey pinky. And this one, I like this one too. I like them all. And here's a minty one. So I'm already starting to think about another Scrappy Blanket. Got to finish the one I'm on. I will finish the one I'm on. And then I'll be on to the next one. And hey, I've got these to start me off. And where is it? Here it is. I saw something else in the shop and I went for that as well. It's a Prim 5mm hook. I haven't actually opened it yet because I haven't done a wee photo of all these for my Instagram yet. So I kept it nice in the box, but hey, we're opening it now. Oh, it's come out, okay. So it's a lovely ergonomic hook. Oh yeah. I can see me like, I don't know why I don't know how to hold it. I haven't got yarn in the other hand. Does feel good though. Quite pencil-y. Yeah, this is sort of rubbery and this bit is smooth, quite plasticky. Looks a bit like a toothbrush. I think if it was in a more toothbrushy colour, I might have thought toothbrush. But yeah, I will give that a try next time I need a 5mm hook. I just wanted to try it. It was on sale actually. There's a few different ones on Tracy's website. I will put the link in the description. All the things I'm chatting about, if you want to go and check that out. This was about £20, so I thought it was a really good price for the mug and the yarn. It's got little doodles on. Yeah, I'll probably keep this for popping hooks or something in. I think I'm going to keep it in here in my new craft space rather than as a mug. But we'll see. I haven't made up my mind for sure. So I'm going to put things right over on the other sofa that I've chatted about, and then when this is empty, I know that I've spoken about all the things. I do have a lot. Do you know, last week I cycled, went on an epic cycle last week. I cycled for 123 miles in the week. My husband David was off work, and at the start of the week we did a couple of wee cycles, and then we wanted to go a bigger cycle. So we did that on day 3, I think. And you know, as we were cycling along, we said, you know, let's see if we can do 100 kilometers this week. That'd be a good challenge, because I mean, we do cycle a little bit, but maybe just to the 2 nearby towns either side. It's all cycle path all the way. So we do a bit every few weekends, maybe. Nothing serious, just out on our bikes. And my husband likes Strava, so that tracks our mileage or kilometres as it is on Strava. So we thought, let's do 100 kilometres. But before we knew it, we'd beaten 100 kilometres and thought, let's do 100 miles. And then we both did. He did even more because I had a couple of rest days and he went out anyway. I did 123, I think he's more like 140 or something. Mad! The week was perfect. We didn't have the wind like there is outside. I don't like cycling in the wind. So the weather was great. It was in the 20s up to 25, 26 one day, but generally lower 20s. It was lovely to cycle in, and yeah, so my point was, so I actually didn't get much crochet time, although I did in the evenings because I tend to just sit. I'm so tired. I just sat and crocheted in the evenings once I'd had my shower. So I guess I maybe made up for it then, and had a couple of rest days as well. He went out on his bike. He wanted to just do, he was off for the week, so he wanted to do a cycle every day. So even on the days I wasn't up for it, he was off. So I have finished, but not blocked, my Bonnie Isles hat. So you can see the rim definitely needs blocking. I just picked up some balloons today, so it has been sitting and sitting, and I kept forgetting to buy balloons because that's how I tend to block my hats. I'll soak them, and then I'll get where are the words? Soak up the moisture. Wring would be the wrong word. And then once that's done, I tend to just blow up a balloon and pop it by my head and get it about the same size as my head and leave it on that. But look at the crown, isn't that amazing? The pattern is by Linda Shearer, and it's a free pattern on the Shetland Wool Week website. If you go to that, you'll see a wee red flag that's got a free knitting pattern on it. Just click on that and you get the free pattern download, which is fab. And there's a whole load of colourway options. I went for a stash bust, and I also introduced another colour. See this blue here, it should only take 5 colours. I added in a 6th colour just because I wasn't sure if I would have enough. So next steps, get this one blocked. I'll probably do it this afternoon. I can show you in the next podcast. And I finished the other knitted hat. Ta-da! And I took it off the needles, and this is where I prefer crochet to knitting, because I took it off the needles, tried it on, and it's quite big. I can easily get hands up inside it, whereas if you'd crocheted a hat you would realise that that was a problem, because if you'd gone brim up you'd have tried it on when it was kind of like a wee sweatband, or if you were going crown down you'd have tried it on. I didn't really know until I got it off the needles, and I did get tension. I did a tension square and everything, and it's big. I have a big head, and it's big, but it's not like coming off big. What do you think? This hasn't been blocked either. I will block it very gently because I don't want it to go any bigger. It is made with 75% superwash merino, 25% yak, and I love the crown as well on this one, and it's got moss stitch, kind of moss stitch ribbing, and that's just turned up. This pattern is by Jane Burns. It's called Heads Up, and it was in an old copy of Simply Knitting magazine from 2014. And this will be a birthday present for my sister, whose birthday was back in July. So I'm going to give it a gentle block, making sure I don't stretch it, really just to kind of shape the crown a bit. It's looking a little bit tea cozy-ish, I want to say. So I'm hoping that just some gentle blocking will sort that out. But yeah, overall I'm happy. It feels soft. The yarn is lovely. It is from the Yarn Collective, and I got it a long time ago from Lovecrafts, so I don't think they sell it anymore, but I do believe the company still exists. Lovecrafts just don't sell it, and I think it's a US or a Canadian yarn company. Can't be too sure on that, but yeah, I'll put the link in and you can check it out. Certainly feels gorgeous, this one. So at the moment I have no knitting projects on the go. I've got my laptop here because I've chosen my next one, and it is this, which keeps popping up. I keep seeing it come up on people's feeds on Instagram. It's the Sea Glass, let me close that, Sea Glass sweater, and it is by Wool and Pine, and I can't remember what their Instagram name is. Wool and Pine, certainly on Ravelry. I've got it in my Ravelry queue, and I'm going to work on that one. There is a stash busting cal coming up, stash busting cal actually. So you can knit, you can crochet. I guess you could do other crafts as well, as long as you're stash busting and using scrap. Yeah. Give me a moment. I did write down. But I don't have it here. Scrap busting. I think it's scrap busting cal, and it is by Jenna Sargent .techedit on Instagram. Yeah, and she is running the cal, and you can use any scrappy pattern. Yeah, it must be scrappy. Scrap busting cal. Gosh, I wrote it down because I knew that I would forget, and I've left it, the little bit of paper that I wrote it down on. In the other room. So I'm looking forward to that. That starts on the 1st of September, and you can use any pattern, and I think it runs for a couple of months, and I'm going to use that one because I don't have anything knitted on the needles right now, so I'm going to go with that, and I can't wait. It's just going to use up all sorts. You can, although it uses double knitting, you can use a little bit of 4-ply, a little bit of Aran, and it'll all work out because it's all done in 1x1 stranded colour work. So you're just doing one stitch in one colour and then the next stitch in colour B and then back to colour A. So it's going to be a slow one. I'm a slow knitter anyway, so we'll see how we get on with that. But yeah, it's a long time since I've knitted a garment. I think I knitted myself a cardigan when I'd only been knitting for, I think I'd done a tiny project or something, and then I decided to just go all out, and I made myself a cardigan that I wore to death, and eventually had to put in the recycling. It was if any of you were following me back then, or I've got some real life friends who watch this podcast, it was a sort of dusty pale lavendery colour one, and it had a massive button on the chest. Anyway, absolutely loved it. And the other garment I have knitted is a Fair Isle cardigan, which I'm looking forward to being able to wear again now the weather's getting cooler. And yeah, I'm hoping to do that one, which will be good. What else have I got? Just picked up yesterday and started this, which might look like double crochet. Can you see? Yeah, I think you can because I've got the window behind me. Can you see how dense that is? Also how it looks the same on both sides. This is thermal crochet, where you're working each, which way will I show you? Here. You're working along and you're grabbing both sides, and yeah, it's really cool. It's almost like this is 2 layers, and when you do a row, you're grabbing the stitch you'd be working in, but you're also grabbing the leftover loop on the row below, and you're sort of closing that in, and it's, I mean, there's the side. It's so dense. It's called thermal crochet, and it's just a double crochet that I'm doing all over. And this is part of Nikki's Homemade Crafts MCAL, which started on Monday. It's just running for this week. It's a quick project. Apparently by the end of, this is clue 1, by the end of clue 1 you have a rectangle, maybe about halfway. Haven't measured it, I'm guessing I'm about halfway. And then there's clues 2 and 3, and I think that is it. So it's quite a simple 1 week MCAL, and that's run by Nikki's Homemade Crafts. It's Nikki, the same Nikki, if any of you saw, I was promoting the bundle over on Instagram and in my newsletter, the bundle for craft fairs, which was full of quick projects. So thank you to all of you who supported me and clicked on my affiliate link for that because I get a bit of money in from that, which helps me podcast amongst other things, buy yarn, make and create. It's just another way that I can generate income. So thank you very much for all your purchases of that. Someone tiptoeing past. I'll just drink some. So I think I've left one of the most exciting things for the end. I have now got bits and pieces in for my own cowl. This is a skein of yarn from Liv at the Wool Shed, and it's the exclusive Lazy Days colourway to go with my Lazy Days sock pattern, which is this one here. And this is a cowl that I am running starting on the 6th of September, and there is a kit, and I have, so far I've got some bits and pieces in for it. I have the yarn, I have stitch markers, and they are really lovely. They're shiny. There's a bee and a flower. There's 5 or 6 different colours of flower. If you've pre-ordered a kit, I'm going to be putting up a post, or you can get in touch with me and ask, because if you've pre-ordered, I'm going to let you choose the colour of your flower. The bees are all the same, but the flowers, there's different colours. So you can choose. If you've pre-ordered, I'll give you the chance to choose, and if you miss the pre-order cutoff and just go for straight ordering, then it's just potluck. You can just get the one you get. But if you've pre-ordered, little bonus, you can choose. So thank you for everyone who has pre-ordered. The bags are in. Look at those. They're not showing up quite as purpley as they are in real life. But this is the bag. It's a good size. Again, remember, I have massive hands. It's a really good size. I mean, here's the skein of yarn. That'll fit in there nicely. Let's pop it in. Pretend like I'm making up a bag ready for posting. You've got your stitch marker. There will be a hook. There will be a copy of the printed pattern. And there will be 3 little bonus surprises in there. And you can see it's a fair trade, organic cotton bag, and it's got a drawstring. Like that. And this is the illustration. If you've not been following me, this is an illustration by Katie Birdie, and she illustrated this, and then from there I sent the illustration to Liv at the Wool Shed. This is Liv's yarn, and she dyed up the yarn based on Katie's illustration, and then from the 2 of those I made a sock pattern. So that all comes, not the completed sock. I'm afraid you do have to crochet your own sock, but don't be daunted. I have made loads of video tutorials. I think there's 8 video tutorials for all the sections. So there's one for the cuff, there's one for how to start the leg and these little eyelets here. There is a video for the heel section. There is a video for the gusset, and a video for the toe and how to close the toe. So for each of the sections, oh, and there's video on how to do this extended double crochet stitch, which is used throughout. That's a really comfy stitch for a crocheted sock. It fits really nicely around the foot, and it's nice to stand on or walk on or whatever. And you can see the heel is a fully formed heel. It's not an afterthought heel, so there's loads of room here. If you have a high instep, this will be perfect for you. And there's loads of ways that you can adjust the sock and get the right circumference and length that you want as well. So there's plenty of options in there with the videos. And as well as that, I'm there, I'm available, I'm here. If you want to email me or reach out to me, Instagram DMs, whatever, you can ask me any questions. And what I've done in the past when I have released patterns is open up an Instagram chat group as well. So I'll be doing that too. And if you've bought the kit, you'll be able to join that, and we could all support each other, cheer each other on, share photos, and make friends, which is one of the great things about Cowls as well. And yeah, cannot wait for that. So I'm going to post these out on the 31st of August, and the Cowl will start on the 6th. I'm afraid initially when I started this I said that I wouldn't do international posting because it just looked a little bit tricky, and I've never done anything like this before. But I had so many requests from people saying, please will you post to Australia, please will you post to the US, and in Germany as well, that I caved, and I have opened it up to international postage, but I'd already kind of set the date, so you might be waiting a little longer to get started if you are international. But if everything comes in, I will get the international ones posted. Not if, once everything comes in, I will post the international ones first. I will get them out of the way first and get them off to you, so that you're at least in with a chance of starting at the start date. I'll probably run it for 5 weeks. I don't know when that ends, into October. Plenty time to crochet a pair of socks. I think that should be doable for everyone. And yeah, there will be prizes as well for completing your socks, and the hashtag for them is Lazy Days Sock Cal over on Instagram. So if you've got any questions about the sock, please ask me. I can answer your questions. If you've never tried socks before, maybe you've got your doubts about them, maybe you're worried about the technical aspects of it. So I've also got a whole load of blog posts. I put out a blog post on Tuesday or Wednesday this week, and it lists the previous blog posts that I have put out about socks. So they're all there together with all the information you need to crochet socks, because I am a big fan of crocheting socks. Definitely one of my favourite things to crochet. I like the fact that you can work on them quickly. They only take one skein of yarn, or more if you want to do things like fancy toes and heels and cuffs. But generally you can, generally you can do them with one skein of yarn, and they're portable, and once you've been doing them a while, you're able to work on them without looking at the pattern, especially if you're on the leg or the foot and you're just going round and round. I like that about them too. So yeah, I'm a big fan of crocheted socks. If you haven't tried them, you need to, you're missing out. Right, final glug of tea, and I will just check how I mentioned everything. I think I have. I think that is it. I guess I haven't mentioned the other 2 offers I have in August. So there's 10% off the kit. Should have mentioned that, though. 10% off the kit with the code LazyDays10. It's on my website, so if you put the code LazyDays10 in, you will get 10% off this. There is a half price discount on all of my Amigurumi patterns. I have a doll pattern, a wolf pattern, and a bunny pattern, and they are all pre-discounted. So I've gone on, they're on Ravelry and Lovecraft. So I've gone into the sites and I have slashed the prices, so you don't need a code or anything, because I'm taking them down at the end of the month. I just decided, I was talking there about the socks. My other patterns are hats and scarves and blankets, and I just kind of thought that if I look at it together, I just kind of feel that the Amigurumi patterns are just a bit out there and don't quite fit in with the rest of them. So I'm going to take them away. So you have another week and a bit to snaffle up those patterns, and then they will be gone. I will still have pattern support for them. So if you do buy the patterns, I'll not be deleting them off my laptop, and I can help you if you do have any questions. And the other offer I have on this month is 15% off my courses, because as soon as I have what's the word? Not delivered. Sent, parcelled up the Cowl kits, I am going to focus on the feedback I've had on the courses. And the courses are going to go up significantly. At the moment, they are, I think they're £12 and £15. with your code 15% off, and the code is course 10. Absolute bargain, because I'm going to be putting them up to £47 each. So buy those now while they are cheap. And I was just kind of dipping my toe in, looking for a bit of feedback, which I've had. They've gone down really well. Obviously they're so cheap. I knew that. I knew they'd put them out at a crazy price because I wanted to just see what the feedback was, see if it was something people were interested in, and get some feedback from you on what you liked about them, what you didn't, and what I could do to improve them. And yeah, it's coming really well. I'm really pleased with the feedback. A few little tweaks that I'm going to do. And then the price is going to go up significantly. So £47, if you can get it just now around 10, then bargain. So please do check that out. That is on my website. That's the only place I have the courses. They're a mix of video-based and written content. And I haven't even told you what they're on. I'm all over the place this afternoon. I need another week to recover after all that cycling. The first course is all about colour and crochet and combining the two. There's a bit of colour theory, there is stuff on choosing colours, and then there's kind of the practical side of changing colours in crochet patterns. That is all on that one. And in the second course, it is how to write up a crochet pattern. So that's not for you if you haven't got any starting point. It's more if you've designed, say, a hat and you've got some scribbled up notes and you're not quite sure how to take that and put it into a formal pattern style. So that is that course. I will be doing a third course, which will be on how to take a vague idea you have of how to crochet something and how you start to then work that out, and then that'll lead into writing it up. So I'm going to combine that, and I may even combine it with the colour one and produce an ebook. Plans for 2023 already coming together, so that's quite exciting. That's all in the pipeline, and yeah, I think that definitely is now all I was going to talk to you about. And I will be back in a couple of weeks, and yeah, everything will definitely be in for these kits. I can't wait to show you the rest. I'll be able to show you the surprises by then. Maybe. I can't work out. When would that be? Is that as far as the 7th of September? I'm not sure. It may be. I haven't got a calendar in front of me. I may be able to show you the surprises, or I may have to wait because I'll wait for folks to get their bags. But I'll certainly have the hooks. They are on their way. So, yes, it's all happening. I need to go and blitz around this room and crack on with technical stuff for the kits. So thank you for joining me. Thank you for your time. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, all the things. I'd be so grateful. Thank you. Bye.